Good morning and welcome to Authentic Conversations with Moji. And yes, it's Wednesday. I've been so excited. A lot has been going on for the past few weeks. So first off, Ṣílẹ̀kùn ayọ̀ mi o, bàbá ṣílẹ̀kùn ayọ̀ mi. Ìbànújẹ́ ò jẹ́ kó jìnnà sílé mi. Wàá múnú mi dùn, bàbá onílé ayọ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ ayọ̀ mi. Má jẹ́ kó pa mí lẹ́kún, ṣílẹ̀kùn ayọ̀ mi o, bàbá ṣílẹ̀kùn ayọ̀ mi. Ìbànújẹ́ ò jẹ́ kó jìnnà sílé mi. Wàá múnú mi dùn, bàbá onílé ayọ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ ayọ̀ mi, má jẹ́ kó pa mí lẹ́kún. Good morning. Basically, all I'm saying is, open the doors to my happiness, oh Lord. And what brings me joy may not bring me tears. That's basically all the song says. But it's one of my favorite songs because honestly, that's like the most amazing things, because sometimes we get what we think we want and then it doesn't make us happy. I learned that because I'm mad old, don't I? Anyway, today's Wednesday. I said the month of August, I'll be talking to different authors. The author I'm talking to today is in Nigeria, so he might be having technical difficulties. I'm not sure because he's not in here yet. And for those of you guys that hold on, he's inboxing me. New to the page, this is Mojisola Wilson. Authentic Conversations is the name of the show. There's a lot going on in Nigeria that I want to talk about, but I'll save it for tomorrow. Today, I'm supposed to be talking about this gentleman, Moshood Adebayo, who is an author, he's an educator, he's also a self-published author of at least 3 or 4 books. I've read about 3 of the books so far, not too many of them. But he's very active on social media. He's always on social media. He makes a lot of jokes, but he makes a lot of really, really important points through laughter and through his stories and things like that. I actually ran into him when he wrote a piece many months ago that went viral about the fact that he wrote a piece about the fact that some girl that he met had some girl that he met many years ago he was supposed to get married to, or something. Bottom line is, at the end of the day, is the girl ended up marrying, so he didn't marry the girl dumped him and she moved away. But his stories are very, very factual, they're very real, and I like the way he thinks. And so anyways, let me read you his bio real quick. But before we do that, hold on one second, I gotta get in my fancy stuff, right? And it's authentic. Adebayo is a graduate of Obafemi Awolowo Ile-Ife State. He has a degree in biology, and he's a teacher. He's a science teacher. He has published numerous articles on his personal blog and several other blogs and papers in Nigeria. His pen name is Lord eBay. And in August 2018, he published his first novel, The Rich, the Poor, and the Miserable. Succeeding that, our other novel, whose massive acceptance by his readers proves Moshoods is well received in the literary world. I'm still waiting for him to come in. We're dealing with Nigerian electric and Wi-Fi, so forgive me if anything goes wrong. But for a long time, all I do is complain about what's wrong in Nigeria, what's bad in Nigeria. We already know what's bad and what's going on in Nigeria that's really, really not making us happy, right? A lot of us are not home, not because we don't want to. Hi, good afternoon today. Good afternoon, Lara. Not because we don't want to be there, but because we cannot seem to self-actualize in Nigeria. So I thought, look, instead of everybody being upset, how about we start shedding light on people that are trying to do something fantabulous in Nigeria? How about we start shedding light on businesses that are doing well, on people that have a moral compass, on people that are doing good things like Moshood? Moshood is actually, I don't call him a blogger, I call him a writer. He's an author. He's his vision for Nigeria is really massive when it comes to education. He goes on TV shows and talks about education and how education is so very important. And unfortunately, one of the first things they did in Nigeria was break down the educational system in Nigeria. And it's crazy that okay, hold on one second. I am live, Moshood. So if you're not able to come in, it's fine. So we have to understand that the educational system of Nigeria is really jacked up, and they did it like that on purpose. If you are not, from the elite, they have the system so carved out that the poor will always stay poor and the elite will always stay elite. Education is a passport to our freedom. People don't read. I read almost everything I lay my hands on. I go searching on YouTube. I'm a PhD holder from the University of YouTube and Google, because I do a lot of research. I read a lot of books, and that's how we expand and open our minds. When we look at what is going on in the universe at the moment, it's kind of scary, because a lot of the things that we thought, especially people like me that are like mad old, people like me that are in my age groups, I thought I would be retired by 50. I mean, at the very least, but it's not going to happen, not because I don't want it to happen, but because unfortunately that's, a lot of us are starting things over. I'm still trying to get Moshood in, so please bear with me. And if that does not happen, I'm just going to change the topic, because it's very important for him to speak for himself and his experiences in Nigeria. I'll try and bring him back another day if he's not able to come on. Oni, I can't say your name. Iroka Lazy. Hello, how are you? So while we're waiting for him to come on, there's a lot going on in Nigeria. Hold on one second. Please do click the link and follow the instructions. Hold on one second, bear with me. Follow the instructions. I use a program that's different. That's not really Facebook, because it takes me to Facebook, YouTube, and all the other places. It's important that we start to educate ourselves and our children. And I'm not talking about formal education, by the way, because what I've learned, what I know is that they teach you what they want you to know. For instance, they teach you his story, never our story. I don't care if you're Black anywhere in the world, you're not learning our story. You're learning his story. You're learning the story they want you to learn. You're learning just enough to keep you quiet. You're learning just enough to keep you fed, but not full. Does that make sense? So that's why it's important that we all start to exert our energy into educating ourselves. Don't believe everything you read on social media. Go out there and Google it and read through it and try and figure out what makes sense before you share it. Yeah, it's very important that we all start to read. Just read. Even if it's a lie, read it. If it's true, read it. And then do your own research to, okay, Moshood is having a really hard time to come into the studio today, so I might flip the script. It seems it's going to bring me on audio only. I don't know. Nigeria is always special. Every time I try and do something in Nigeria, I actually interviewed a Nigerian person that was running for Nigerian presidency, and we had so much issues. I could only call him on the phone and do an audio. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to bring in him live, but I can bring in him audio. So let's see if we can get him in audio. Hi, Omoni, good afternoon. And we'll figure that out. But anyways, so I thought maybe it's time that we start sharing good stories. So if you guys that are listening to me out there, if you know stories of people that are making it, people that are inventors, people that are writers, doctors, lawyers, let's start to share the good news instead of the bad news. There's an issue going on in Nigeria at the moment that I've been investigating and talking about and all that stuff. But I wasn't going to talk about it today. But since Moshood is not able to join us, we're taking this elsewhere. All right. Put on your seatbelt, folks. Put on your seatbelt. Let's do it another day. Okay. All right. This is very good. The universe has a way of making things happen. So we were not. We were. Oh, I see him. Hey, Moshood.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yay! I'm so excited. This is good. It seems like your camera is not working.
It's not working,
It's okay.
unfortunately.
It's okay.
Yes.
The way the universe wanted it is the way it's going to play out. I was about to switch the topic on you.
Okay.
All right. So, anyways, it's good. Thank you for coming
Uh,
on Authentic Conversations with Moji. Like I was
yes.
saying, I thought to start showcasing people that are doing good things in Nigeria and
Yes.
against all odds. Because it's important for people to know that there are people trying to do things out there. There are people that are doing the best they can. So I know you graduated from University of Lagos.
Yeah. No, Obafemi Awolowo
Obafemi,
University,
sorry, Obafemi
Ile-Ife.
Awolowo. And how did,
Yes.
from a person that did biology, how did you end up in a writing?
I guess I'm just a soul that loves literature. Even before I went into the sciences at a primary school, I'd always loved to read novels from D.O. Vagunwa and those days Yoruba literature. I enjoyed reading those books, and that was when I knew that I would later summer fall in love with writing. I was filled with inspiration at the time, but I just could not find the way how. Because being someone who grew up in an environment where people hardly speak English, so to express myself was difficult. So I had to go on a special self development journey to sharpen myself up, so as to be able to um, put down what is on my mind. So going to sciences was just the reality around there is that most of us we just find ourselves wherever they put us. This is what you want to study at the junior at the JS theory class, crossing to the senior class. The teachers will just come around and say, okay, these are the brilliant students, this one are not brilliant enough. They just put you in the class. It's not based on your wishes, but based on your ability. They believe that students who could solve maths and all that are better suited to science classes. So that was how I found myself in the science class.
I think it's a brilliant thing though, because writing is something that comes from the soul, and you can
Yes.
do that with anything. I mean, your science, you doing sciences did not rob you of your creative energy. All it did
I
was probably give you a way to sustain yourself. Because it's
yes.
important to be able to pay your bills. Most of my friends that are writers, my
Yes.
wife is an amazing writer, but she's a doctor. So she writes because it gives her pleasure, and she writes a lot anyways, being a doctor. Um, when did you start? When did you write your first book or your first piece that you remember?
Well, that should be um, as after SS3. I finished secondary school in 2005. So
Right,
2006, I was home. I was doing nothing. So that was when I thought, why don't I try something? Why don't I try to write a book? So
right,
I gave it the title, The Gardener's Daughter. It was from I don't Oprah. Well, I don't even remember where I got that title, but I heard it somewhere and I liked it, and I kind of thought, okay, why not use it for there was no orientation of whether there could be originality in title or anything at the time. So I just liked it and I just gave it The Gardener's Daughter. It was a short story. So when
right,
people read it, they were like, "Wow, wow! Did you write this? It's impossible. It's a lie. You did not write it. Who wrote it for you? Where did you find it?" So that was when I thought, "Okay, so am I this good?" And then I gave it another shot, and I wrote another book. That was No Blood.
right.
Uh, that was as far back as 2006, 2007.
Can you can you tell me a little bit about the gardener's daughter? Like, give us a synopsis of it, not the whole story, because we want to write the book.
Uh, that's an old story. I'm not sure I can remember the details, but I think it was. It was about a little girl who was accused of stealing something she did not steal.
Okay.
So, and somehow the truth got to come out. They found out that she was not the one who stole. I don't remember the details of it. It's a
Don't worry
very
about it. Don't
old
worry about
thing.
it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah,
But you're
yeah.
also a school teacher, right?
I'm also a
A school teacher. You're an educator.
yes. I teach at the secondary school.
And what made you go into teaching? Because for me, education is everything. So forgive me for probing.
Well, the thing is, if it is only if I would lie that I would say that it was intentional that I wanted to go into education. No, I didn't want to. So I kind of when I was in secondary school, I liked something like being on the sea, being a naval officer, sailing the world on the
Yeah.
ship. But when I finished secondary school, and my dad said he doesn't want me to be far from him, so he wanted me to be close to him. And the college that was in Oyo, my hometown then, was uh, the institution was a college of education. So
Okay.
that was how I got enrolled, and I became an educationist. If I had if I had a choice, I don't think I would have chosen to be there. But now that I'm there, it is kind of like I'm made for it because I love teaching. So
Exactly. I was just going to say that. I think it's so funny because I always thought I was supposed to be a model, and I was a model, and I was doing very well, and then I accidentally tripped into real estate, and I excelled in real estate. I mean, and it's not even about the money; it's about the fact that it's a lot more fulfilling for me. For you, because I follow you on social media all over the place, I was introduced to your piece when somebody sent it to me. There was a piece you wrote about some guy who was living in a face to face, and he had dated a girl, and the girl had moved away or something, or they broke up, and she moved. She's now married, living in the U.S. And the guy was complaining about, oh, no, he wasn't complaining. He was saying if she had married me, we would have been in the face.
yes,
You remember that
yes.
story?
I remember the post. It was a short post on Facebook. I think I posted it around this time last year.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a great piece, and a lot of people don't know that you an educator, and they also don't know that a lot of your motivation behind your writing is to improve lives, to give people hope. Because I've seen a lot of your motivational pieces, and talk to me about that. Tell me how you started to do those videos.
Well, I when I look around me, it's kind of it touches me to see that people unintentionally choose the path of unhappiness in life because they are always trying to uh, follow the bandwagon, do
Yeah.
what others are doing,
Hmm.
live to please others, so that others can say, yes, this person is also in vogue. This person is also doing what people are doing. Is it music that we do? Let everybody sing. Nobody wants to be anything else again. Everybody wants to be Olamide and Wizkid, and if they are unable to be that, they become unhappy. All these things I touch me. I kind of you are not made. You are not necessarily made to be like Whiskey or to be like some other person that is doing some other thing. You could be yourself. I'm a writer. Most of the time, people question me. People ask me that what is your plan B? I mean, what is plan B supposed to mean? And when the writing is not fetching you money, like what is your real life goal? Say writing is my real life goal. If it had been music, nobody will have questioned me. They will have believed that is okay. Sometime I will become successful like Whiskey. Nobody wants to believe in other things. So that is why I thought I should live to impress, to motivate, to inspire others, to let people see that uh, even though we are not earning much from writing yet,
Keyword is
we're
there.
happy.
Keyword
We're
is,
happy.
and you're not going to jail for stealing. You can sleep at night because you're not 419ing anybody.
No, not at all.
And
Not
what
at
you
all.
do, see the difference. For instance, I started making jewelry, and I've always made jewelry, but I made it for me and my friends and things like that. And I turned it into my art is now wearable art. I might not make a fortune out of it, but it gives me joy, it gives me pleasure. And I think that's the
Yes.
same thing with writing. It fills,
Yes.
feeds one's soul. And if
Yes.
you ever listen to Maya Angelou and all the other great writers and all of the great ones that came before any one of us, they'll tell you that
Yeah.
when you do the things that comes from the heart,
Yes.
you're writing because you have to write, because there's something inside you that drives you. And if you don't put
Yeah.
those words on paper, you won't feel okay. Then you're a true
You
writer, and
want.
the money will come. That's why we're doing this series for the month of um, of August, where we're showcasing like African writers. And
Yeah.
because a lot of people don't know about your books, I have read it. My wife has read all your books, by the way, just so you know. And she works globally. She's read
Wow.
every piece of it. She bought every book online. Now we're buying the hard copy, and we're going to buy the hard copy from you, signed, and then you mail it to us in America. And
Okay.
today we're going to be giving away 10 books
That
online,
would be nice.
right? We're going to
Right.
be
All
giving away
right.
10 books to people that are on. So people share this video. This isn't about Moji. Authentic Conversations is about motivating people to think outside
Yes.
the box and to do things to encourage and empower people. So today we're going
Yes.
to be empowering Moshood Adebayo, who's an educator, who's also a writer, and he's written about 4 or 5 books out there. So today
Six
we'll be
books.
giving away a few of his books to people that share this video. If you share the video, you're going to get a book. If you live in Nigeria, Moshid will mail it to you. If you live in the US, we'll send you an online version that you can read online. So 10 people will get this, will get the book today if they share the video. You have to share this transmission to be able to get it, to be able to get a copy of the book. Is there anything else that you would like to tell the audience?
Or what I would like to say is that we should not live to impress others. We should live to impress our souls. We should live to impress our dreams and our ambitions. We should live for fulfillment, not to impress people. Because when we live to impress people, the time will come when we will move on, we will pass on, and will be forgotten. But when we do things that are uniquely ours, that is, the uniqueness is easily remembered because it is like a different color out of many uniform colors. So I'm doing what I do now. There is nothing much, but I believe that even though I'm in Nigeria, even though I did not grow, I'm not a native English speaker, even though I did not grow up in expensive schools, but with self development, self training, I can do things that will be of equal standard with those that people that were trained in expensive schools, people that grew up in native English countries. I can do things that are equally as beautiful as theirs, if not even better anyway.
Probably
So
even better, because let me tell you, very often people ask me why I speak the way I do. Why don't I have an American accent? I've been here for almost 40 something years. I went out of my way to maintain my proper English Nigerian spoken accent. Does that make sense? Because it makes me
yeah,
different from every other black person in this country. When you speak, I hear you often talk about the fact that you did not grow up in expensive schools. See,
yeah,
I think we all need to focus on the fact that self-development is the best form of education ever.
Yeah.
Because when you go
Yes.
to school, me, a Nigerian speaking with an American accent makes no sense to me because you're not American. You
Yes.
know, even though I've been in America for 45 years, I'm still Nigerian. We were trained with the British School of System of Education, and my diction is not my accent. Does that make
Yes.
sense? Because you speak proper English, you speak better English than a lot of people that I know, but the accent is yours. That's your signature.
Yes.
That's like your fingerprint. So don't
Yeah.
ever be ashamed and stop making excuses for the way you speak. Self-education is more important to me than people that went to Oxford University because they'll teach you the book, but they're not teaching you real life. They're not teaching you integrity. They're not teaching you to fix your moral compass if it's broken. They're not teaching you self-development.
Yes.
So being book smart does not make somebody intelligent. Intelligence comes from self-awareness, self-actualization, and that is how you get the confidence to continue to be you. So shukut to you, Moshood, for being you, the original version of yourself. No, seriously,
Thank you. Thank you very much.
you know, I want us to acknowledge people that are doing things, people that are building themselves up against all odds.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
talking to somebody today, Moshood, and I said to the person, I said, you know, the system of education in Nigeria is kind of warped. And the person said to
It
me,
is.
what are you talking about? I said, it's like you take a piece of, you know, they have made the system so bad that they've disconstructed the educational system that our law created in those days, right?
Yes.
And that is
Yes.
just to keep the poor poor and the rich richer because the rich people send their kids to expensive schools, and then the poor
Yes.
people go to school. I have pictures of schools in Ogun State where there's no chairs, there's no walls, there's no windows, there's nothing, and yet doctors, lawyers, and people like you are coming out of schools that are not
Yes.
up to par. So
Yeah.
it's a matter of self determination. It's a
Yes.
matter of being self driven, self
Yes.
motivated, and surrounding
Yes.
oneself with people that are trying to go to bigger and better places, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's good to you, anyways, for doing what you do and for being a teacher as
Thank you.
well. For being a
Thank you.
teacher, it's not easy to be a teacher. And,
It
you
is
know,
not.
when you lean into your authentic self, things, doors will start to open in places that you never even thought was possible, right? Like I saw you on TV the other
It-
day.
yes. 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 I was invited for an interview about writing and similar stuff.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes.
So
So
when you lean into your authentic self, for instance, you're a teacher in school, but your authentic self is a writer. So you're writing
yes.
not to pay your bills, but you're writing out of your soul and your spirit, and that
Yes.
is what's going to get you to your promised land. If
Hopefully.
no, you know, I'm a student of the law of attraction. I believe in saying things that
Certainly.
certainly should put to you, Jare. Certainly is the
Uh,
word. Now, if there are young people
certainly.
listening to you out there, what can you tell them about the state of Nigeria and your work and how you've managed to stay away from all these jagujantis that people do to make money?
Well, I think what I would say is that there is more to life than being able to go to clubs every Friday. The problem with people around there, people that usually uh, by allow themselves to be tempted by money and then go into cyber uh, uh, robbery is that the people like material things and they do not have ambitions. They do not see beyond where they are. All they want is to impress their neighbors, to drive expensive cars, to go move around with girls and others. When people read books, that I advise people to read books. When you read books, books open your eyes to the world out there, opens your eyes to the books, open your eyes to the past, and then see the possibilities that could come in the future. And by that, naturally, you just grow mentally. You become aware that where you are is so small, and you could be more. You could be more. You could be more than you are. So that is what I would tell people, is that they could see beyond where they are. They should read books. They should not be carried away by what people are doing around them. They should look within. People that are being celebrated today, they looked within. They looked within themselves. They asked themselves a question like, why am I here? What is my purpose in life? So then they find out what they have passion for, and they worked and worked towards it, and now they are where they are now. We celebrate them. So people who do not see beyond where they are, they will not become anything. When they
Exactly.
die, they will be buried, and their neighbors will not even know who died. They'll be like, why are those people gathered there? They will say someone died. So I do not want to be someone died. I want to be, when the time comes when I pass on, I want the world to know that someone came and the person has left, and we will miss him dearly.
Yeah.
That is the kind of person I want to be.
So where
And
can people find your books?
well, my my books are on the major online bookstores: Amazon, Lulu, Barnes and Noble, no, Barnes and Noble, no, Kobo, and so on like this. And books could be directly bought from me. I mail books to people directly, and books are available in bookstores across Nigeria. So anybody who wants to get the books, if it is online, the person just needs to search on Google and just go on Amazon or Lulu or Google Books or all those. The books are there. But for hard copies, the person would need to call me or send me an email. Then I will guide the person on how to get the books based on the person's location.
Okay. So when we get off the show, can you please put a link or something to your email address, however they can get in touch with you on there, so that people can hopefully buy your books. And to the few people that are on here at the moment, if you share the video, I will send you. I mean, Moshood will send you a book. I'm not the one giving the books away. Moshood will send you
Yes.
a book. If you're in the US or outside the country, he will send you a link for a free copy of his book. If you're in Nigeria, he will actually mail you a copy of his book. So 10 people share the video. This particular segment is to showcase Nigerian authors. If you have any friends that are writers and they're out there doing their thing, inbox me with their names and such. I'll go buy the book and I'll read it. And or hopefully I'll be able to bring them on. We're going to do this 2 more Wednesdays or 3 more Wednesdays. I forget how many Wednesdays is in August. And Moshood, thank you so very much for joining me today. I hope
Thank,
we sell lots and lots of books. And thank you for the gift of the 10 books to my audience. When this show is over, I'm going to ask a lot of my friends to share it, because the whole purpose of doing this show is to get Nigerian authors out there and to get Nigerians motivated to start to read and spend less time on social media. Something's going to be in it for me. The more people that become educated, the less bigotry and the less animosity and jealousy will be out there. We're all praying for much more enlightenment among all people, especially African people. Thank you again, Moshood, for coming out today. I appreciate you a lot. Are you there? Did we lose you? Hello? Nigeria. Anyways, you guys share the video for me. If you share the video, I'm going to inbox you and we'll get your information and send you the book. Moshood is out there on social media. Please look for his page and follow him. Moshood Adebayo is his name. Look for his page and follow him. And if you have any friends that are authors, or you know somebody that you think I should get in touch with and bring to the show on Wednesdays, I will definitely bring them on. I'll buy the book, read it. If I like it, I'll bring them on. Friday. Actually, no. Tomorrow I'm doing a special show on the young Nigerian Muslim musician that has been sentenced to death for blasphemy. Tomorrow, 10 o'clock, meet me back here on Authentic Conversation. Let's have some serious, authentic conversation about this guy. I'm not, I'm not religious. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. And I don't understand how we all over the world can be silent about this. Yeah, let's do that tomorrow. Anyways, thank you, Moshood, for joining me. Thank you all for joining me. This is Authentic Conversations with Moji. And you guys were very quiet today. I'll see you tomorrow.